See, a lot of people carry something every day, but they don't like to say it out loud. It comes up in conversations, it shapes choices. Most of the time, it goes unnamed. The truth is uncomfortable, but it matters. The issue isn't that you were hurt. The issue is that you started to believe healing means always pointing at who caused the pain. This isn't about beating yourself up or saying you don't matter. It's about being honest about where you really are. Right now, pain has too much control in your life. It explains your behavior, yet it protects you from situations where growth would be required. Talking about the hurt feels like progress, but repeating it over and over isn't the same as healing. What feels like processing is often just practice. Each time the story gets told, the wound stays open. After a while, the pain stops being something that happened and starts becoming who you are. There's comfort in that, even if it doesn't look like it. Being hurt gives you a role. It gives you an answer when things don't work out. It gives you someone to blame when responsibility starts getting uncomfortable. Pain becomes familiar, and familiar can feel safer than change. It does. Healing doesn't start by finding someone who to blame. It starts by looking inward at yourself. And that part gets avoided because it feels hard to do. Looking inward means asking questions you might not like. It means noticing choices that were made even when the warning signs were clear. Growth begins when you stop avoiding those moments. Pain doesn't only come from what someone did to you. It also comes from what you allowed to keep happening. That truth isn't about shaming yourself. It's about taking your power back. And responsibility doesn't erase what happened. It doesn't. It gives you the ability to choose differently the next time. Another part that often gets missed is that healing turns fake when it becomes about proving something. And proving becomes a message meant for someone else. Progress turns into a way to make someone feel regret. That kind of healing looks strong on the outside, but it feels empty on the inside because it depends on other people's reactions. You don't need that. Real healing is quiet. It happens without the audience. There's no applause, no validation. It requires sitting alone with yourself when nobody is apologizing, and no one is cheering. Those moments force honesty. They show the difference between being hurt and staying in situations that keep causing you the harm. Knowing who hurt you isn't enough. Awareness by itself doesn't stop patterns. Many people can list every betrayal, everyone they experience, and still choose the same type of person again. Recognition without change keeps everything the same. Familiar pain often feels safer than unfamiliar growth. Blame feels easy because it brings relief without work. Responsibility takes effort. Blame keeps the anger alive, but responsibility creates a freedom. One keeps your focus on the other puts the focus back on you. That's what you need. Trust me. That heavy feeling that stays after telling the story again and again, it exists because talking isn't healing by itself. Healing starts after the talking stops. It starts when rebuilding replaces the repeating. The real work begins when you stop telling the story and start looking at the patterns underneath it. Healing doesn't need an audience. It never did. It doesn't show up in posts or quotes or announcements. It shows up in who you stop making excuses for. Taking responsibility doesn't mean taking blame for someone. It doesn't. It means noticing where you stayed longer than you should have. That awareness puts control back in your hands. And waiting for apologies, that stopped mattering a long time ago. Closure stops coming from other people. Your worth stops being tied to the one who hurt you. You don't need it. Freedom lives in that responsibility. Free from repeating the same relationships with different faces. And then the growth starts when the pain stops being your identity and becomes something you learn from. Being the problem, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've been holding on to a version of healing that explains pain instead of changing it. Let that feeling go. It's scary because the blame acts like a shield, but responsibility makes you vulnerable. And that ain't good. When responsibility replaces blame, things begin to shift. Standards become clearer. Boundaries get stronger. Choices feel more intentional. The past stops running your future because it's no longer being carried like proof of who you are. Healing isn't about who hurt you. It's about who you become once the hurt stops controlling you. It's about understanding the version of you that stayed, hoped, and tried, and then guiding that version towards something healthier, which can help. But the blame keeps you stuck in that same story. Responsibility gives you the chance to write a new one, though. I choose responsibility. I can change. I am healing. I don't need your apologies. Move on. Peace.